What's a disturbing trend you are seeing and why? The picture perfect lives on social media. It's all fake, but can really make some people feel worse about their life when everyone is posting how wonderful their life is. Edit. Some PPL are missing my point. I'm not saying post about debts, etc. I mean the flawless over filter photos or the couple posting about how in love they are when in real life you know they are on the verge of divorce. And for PPL with mental illness, it can be hard to rationalize sometimes that what is posted isn't always real life. People instantly buying into intentionally anger-inducing media or material. There's nothing inherently wrong with feeling a certain way, but recognize why you're feeling what you're feeling, what caused it, and whether or not it's valid. It's more important than ever to realize when something or someone is just looking to use you by feeding you bait. The amount of kids not being parented by their parents and instead being parented by YouTube. Their minds are developing with exposure to absolute trash media and social concepts, with no knowledge shared about how to handle external tuitions from their parents. They cry and get cranky and bam, there's YouTube in their hands. I've seen this with children as young as 6 months old. There's some potential, like those cute learning videos, but it's lost when you see a Peppa Pig video edited to murder someone. I'm seeing all these intellectual answers, and I was going to comment on how I'm seeing a rise of hipsters getting bowl-cut haircuts. Kids doing bumps. One kid lays on the ground while the other presses on their chest in a CPR-like motion, which makes the kid's voice funny. This sent at least 15 kids to the ER in my city and killed 2. Loss of privacy. When you cede to others all your thoughts, conversations, pictures and plans, then eventually they will use your own words, pictures to own you. Look around, people, find a balance. Otherwise, we are all just part of a grand oligarchy scheme. Political extremism. Anti-intellectualism. Anti-vax. MLMs. These things have gotten worse and more plentiful. Our government is only getting more lenient with them. Not surprising since a member of our government is from a founding family of one of the worst MLMs, Amway. The world is changing faster and faster. Technology is advancing faster than we can figure out what it's doing to us. Political extremism, fake news, the negatives of social media, privacy issues, change and simplification of language. Most of the issues stated in this thread stem from technology in one way or another. 20 years ago we envisioned every home would have a PC. Now we're literally living in a reality where the lines between fake and real are being constantly blurred more and more. Everything is a commercial, everyone fortifying his corner in the boxing ring of ideas. Ideas are commercials for political agendas, governments and corporations. The damn ice cream licking thing. It's disturbing because it's gross and pointless. That I haven't seen any bees. Cancel culture. It's just wrong to gang up on people when they did something wrong. People talking casually about side relationships, joking about checking their partner's phones or oh no, if they check mine and all that. We've normalized cheating and made it funny. It's so strange. Older people stating that they are entitled to act terribly due to age. On multiple occasions, I have seen older people treat someone terribly, then say that they can do what they want because they are old. This is often coupled with the mentality of I have been a jerk my entire life, and you are not going to stop me from being a horrible human being now. Often quoted with you can't teach an old dog new tricks. I would have thought that you were smarter than a dog, but apparently not. My philosophy is that older people should be held to the same behavioral standards as anyone else, and I will continue to try to be a better person every day of my life, to the day that I die. If I live to be 104, I will still hold myself to the same, if not higher, standards as I would hold anyone else. Older people think that once they reach a certain age, the rules don't apply to them. Why do people live by zodiac signs? People wearing overpriced brands that don't even look good. Rampant tribalism and confirmation bias. People becoming disconnected and isolated from real-world connection and in-person relationships in favor of social media and internet friends. Each have their place, but it can easily shift into unhealthy territory when the majority of your interactions happen in front of a screen rather than face-to-face. Teenage lifestyle YouTubers. Their main source of income? AdSense. Their videos contain sponsorships, affiliate links, etc. Listen to how frequently they name-drop brands. Many, but the one I'm personally most worried is the games industry's focus on subscription-based services. I fear we will move away from owning games, and we would be at the whim of the ones running the subscription if those games are available or not. There are clear benefits of subscription, but I'm afraid of the damages to the industry and options for ownership of products as a consumer should subscription become the norm. That not all data is equal. People like when data represents their confirmation bias. The issue is anyone can publish anything. Without a way to reproduce or validate the findings, it's junk data. This junk data gets posted on social media and media sites, and people believe it. This is what causes fake news, climate denial, anti-vax, and every other conspiracy theory. Buying Belle Delphine bathwater, you're literally spending $30 on bathwater. Too many students on their phone all damn day and obsessed with social media, it drives me nuts. Stop drooling over other people's fake online lives and make one of your own for you to enjoy. Social media influencers. People are extremely shallow these days. I think it has to do with them not being able to think critically about things like beauty standards, the media, porn, etc. And expecting everyone to look like they belong on a magazine cover. Hear me out. My boyfriend is a bit thinner than average, I'm a bit bigger than average. Both of us are pretty close to a healthy weight, though. At the beginning of our relationship, we were both pretty nervous about showing our bodies to each other. But why? Was I supposed to throw the whole boyfriend away because he has a skeleton like every other human being, except slightly more visible? Was he supposed to act like his dick would fall off because my stomach pudges up a bit when I sit? But apparently, both of us have had enough negative experiences to feel like there's something wrong with us for being people. We both think the other is absolutely gorgeous, though. I see so many men, and sometimes women, in their 30s and 40s that are absolutely horrified that their spouse is no longer a thin 20-something with smooth skin and non-graying hair. I don't think previous generations got divorced over no longer finding their partner attractive because of things that naturally happen to every human being, except maybe a few weirdos here and there. Like, are we really that disgusted by the reality of human bodies? There are entire industries dedicated to reversing the effects of aging, like wrinkles and balding. But why? Does your 50-year-old spouse of 30 years really need to look like a magazine cover model? I personally think it'd be cute if I got to grow old, fat, and wrinkly with someone I love. Of course, looks draw you in. But after you're done being young and hormonal, love is about companionship and an emotional bond. It seems like a lot of people lack that these days. Anytime anyone makes this point, someone chimes in with the ever-so-wise zong, so you're saying that I should date a 600-pound crackhead grandma, which is not my point. My point is that our standards are getting so goddamn high and irrational that we are disgusted by completely normal things about being human, like being a little bit too thin, big, or signs of aging. It's disturbing to say the least. Eating disorders, especially in young girls. How lonely a lot of 20 to 30-year-old men are. Finally went to college at 24 and was in a small program. Made some friends, 2 of which admitted they are virgins aged 28 and 29. Others have had no relationship for extended periods of time like myself, talking 3+ years. Besides reading and relating to it on Reddit, I've now seen it in the real world. People just walk into the street to cross without looking because they're so distracted by their phones. I drive around town for work and it's getting worse and worse. I'm worried I'm going to hit someone one day. Pollution. The trend of forming extreme opinions without proper research and without proper research on the credibility of various sources. Glamorizing and self-diagnosing mental illness. It's disturbing and damaging to people with mental illnesses. Really attractive girls getting lip fillers that make them look like a fish having an allergic reaction to a bee sting. Poor grammar and spelling. It's related to texting and online communication. Just read somewhere that 26% of college graduates are writing deficient. That is, they couldn't even accomplish the basic writing tasks of the jobs that they were hired for proficiently. Lack of gardening. More and more goddamn people People not using their blinkers, it's likely going to kill me one day. Pedophilia among the super wealthy. Without getting too serious, I hate how people are either extreme left or extreme right. No one is moderate or even thinks about talking, let alone working with someone who doesn't agree with them. Drives me crazy. We may not agree on, say, the migrant situation, but that doesn't mean we can't come together and get something done. That doesn't give me all I want or you all you want, but hopefully does some good all the way around. Why can't we all just get along? Feel like I'm the only one who's disturbed by girls calling their boyfriends so daddy during sex or whatever. Excessive and needless validation and coddling. Not everyone's opinion is important or relevant, but social media has allowed them to truly believe it. Additionally, it has allowed for the rise of Twitter, IG, Facebook activists who mostly have no idea what they're talking about. Modern social equality movements are slowly losing sight of their goal of equality and shifting towards politically acceptable and socially validated racism and sexism. Before I get all the downvotes for this, I just want to be clear that I still support equality in these movements. But when I see things like there's no such thing as racist minorities or violence against men is fine because they aren't being oppressed, I start to get worried and hazy about my political stance.